German and English?
I prefer German, but I'm sure nobody is able to understand.
Well, we could try, and maybe we could do something with subtitles. Anyways, I pass it off to you, Christoph. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. First, well, thank you very much for visiting our show. And I prefer to get a little bit into discussion because the group is not too big, and we can, so please start asking me if you want. Generally, WinchKraft is a new established company here in Canada. It's active now with distributing of our products, especially cable pulling winches, cabling equipment for pulling underground cable. That's the basic target right now, not only in Central Europe, and I realized that it could be also the most important target right here in Canada. The idea is to make the energy supply system much more reliable. Here in Canada, you're faced with sometimes with strong weather conditions, means all the transmission lines will break down sometimes. In the southern states of the US, it's more critical by storms. Here in Canada, I'm expecting that you're more faced with problems caused by ice storms. We have had it also many years ago. The main central line between Germany and France broke down in winter, and there are around about 1 million people have to live 2.5 weeks without energy, without heating systems. That's the most important danger in winter time, if there's a general danger that people will die. So the power supply network has to be stable. No customer would accept that the power is gone for 2 hours per day, for example, or for 2 weeks generally. That means pulling the cables in the underground makes it much more stable. Damages could not more happen like usual maybe for transmission lines. The idea in Germany we are following right now is to convert the complete network to green power technology. I've seen a lot of windmills also here in North America. That means everything is in process, and in Germany we are trying to find out if it's possible to live with 100% green power. Is it possible to feed an industrial area if the wind is not blowing? That means we have to search alternatives, sun power, biomass power, all these green power technologies we are trying to combine, and all of them have to work together to get, at the end, to get a stable network and a general static power supply. It makes no sense that we will ask our neighbors in France to supply the little bit less expensive nuclear power if we are not far enough. That's not the target. So at the end, we are showing here at this show equipment which should be used for bringing the underground cables in a proper way, in a safe way, into prepared protection pipes or in open trenches. I do not really know. I will ask you directly, is somebody involved in a power supply network, in contracting? So maybe one of you, are you involved in energy cable laying? No? What are you? Okay. But you are active in power cables. We have to be very close to the cable manufacturing industry because you know where the projects will happen. And for you as a cable manufacturer, it's just an example. You will be involved in planning all the contracts, but if the contractor who should place the cable will tell you, oh, it's impossible. I'm able to pull a cable length of 1,500 feet. That's the maximum. You have to believe, and you have to trust him. If we as a manufacturer for the machines will tell you that's a pass, you can count on 6,000 meters of 400 kV cables in one batch, saving a lot of cable joints, which includes a lot of risk for the energy supply network. Maybe we can open your mind a little bit more and get a positive influence on the complete structure. That's the target. That's the reason why we are here. And we are really glad to get you at our booth to show you, to explain a little bit more detail the products and how we are contracting right now in our area. We have to learn from you if it makes sense to convert it one by one to this, maybe to different specifications here, or if we have to modify our products, that it will fit much better here to your conditions. Are there any questions? Or maybe offer a glass of champagne at the booth. So now everybody is with me. Jeff, you will get a beer. So are there any questions about this kind of technology? Because, or I have to ask you from which area you're coming from. Sorry. I was very surprised because you will see outside a big cable drum transport trailer, the company Arno, not far away from here. They are working mainly in Quebec, if I guess right. They found us by themselves. They were sitting in Quebec and searching the internet, and they found our products far away in Germany, and they contacted us. We would need that kind of machine. I was very surprised. Why is he sure that he could need it? Because we were not active with this kind of products here. Another customer contacted Jeff from Vancouver, was asking him, oh, I would need a pulling winch from company Bagheera. And that means the signals, the customers were contacting us till now. And that's the reason to be here, to find out it could not be that there are only two potential customers in Canada which were able to find us by themselves. That means there must be a general demand on this kind of technology. And we will offer our systems, our products, our solutions to Canadian contractors. Maybe, hopefully, we will find out that you're also converting, digging everything into the ground to make it more stable. I'm 99% sure that this is the reason for this kind of contacts, but we have no real general overview to this time. And that's the reason we want to find out. Maybe with single first projects, but if the first projects are working properly, we can publish a little bit more aggressive. Let me ask you, from which area? You're from here, from area Toronto, or? Yeah. Because right now we got these two leads, these two orders from Vancouver, here from this area, or from Quebec. We need to know where are the projects. Can we offer our support for a lot of different projects? We need to know the cable manufacturers, the contractors at least, but also maybe there are some general contractors, big, huge companies who are active in constructing and trying to find out the real good system. So we need to get a little bit support, a little bit influence. Yep. At first, you have we have to talk a few seconds about the main difference. Means transmission lines mainly based on steel wires. You can coil up and you can connect very easily. But with high voltage cables, they are much more expensive. The copper conductor or the aluminum conductor has to be sealed. Means the cover, the isolation of the cables for the underground much more soft. You can damage it much easier. That means you have to protect everything much better, much more properly during the pulling in process. And that makes a big, big difference. If you're pulling transmission lines on towers, there's no friction, there's no possibility to damage it. But if you're pulling into the underground, you have some 90-degree corners. If you have to manage the street crossing, means every corner you have to protect the cable. You have to make sure that the isolations, the covering material will never be damaged. And that makes it more necessary to think a little bit before you start pulling, to prepare, to calculate the expected pulling force. You can overstress the cable. And that's the trick, preventing a lot of cable joints. And by extending the total length of cable, the cable drums become much heavier. You need to get extra permissions for the transport on public roads. During the pulling process, you have to provide more pulling force. But the cable by itself is limited in pulling force. What kind of ideas will support this pulling in process? Could we add some cable pushers between on the way in the trench? These kind of questions have to be discussed before start pulling process. We are supervising these kind of activities. We are offering our support by getting only the diagram about the pulling direction. And we work out some proposals how to manage this working size. That's our job. We hope to establish this kind of technology in Canada, and we are offering our support. So if there's any need, we will be at your side. Okay. Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes left. Yeah, but you are, of course. No. Yeah. In Canada, you have much different influences. In Central Europe, we have not these big-sized cities, but we have a lot of villages close to each other. That means the energy network, we are crossing the country with 380 kV network, the main lines, and from there we are spreading out in 110 kV down to 10, 20 kV cable supply network, and at least to the houses, to the single streets with 1 or 2 kV cables. Here in Canada, you have to cross much longer distances. Yeah. It's very expensive. Right now, and in Germany, the population is standing behind. We are paying more. We're paying nearly double of the price than our French neighbors per kilowatt hour. But we agree to this solution because we know it costs a lot of money, a lot of billions of euros, to convert the complete system to green power. Till now, everybody will live with it, and we will pay more, by reaching this target. And the plan is to switch off most of the nuclear plants in 2018. Till that time, we need to convert the system, the manufacturing of power, from nuclear into green. Nobody knows if we will manage the target. Right now, we are reaching a level of 27% green power of our consumption. So we have to go further, a little bit faster. But that's the idea. If we will hand over to our children a different energy network, even if we have to pay much more right now, we hope that our children will thank us for these kind of activities. We are not knowing if we are on the right way, but we guess so. And you will see later on, within the next 5-6 years, if we manage it or not. You can wait and follow then, if it works in Germany. No, hopefully you will start right now. Then we can sell our machines and we can offer our support. So I thank you very much. Please come to our booth if there are further questions.